Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we have another Evil Genius 2 video because we don't really have any other videos anymore. Don't get me wrong, there will be more videos than just Evil Genius 2 on my channel, and I know that some people will then move on, but for now we have a lot of Evil Genius 2 to cover, and today we are talking about science, because science is what an evil genius needs to conquer the world. So it is time to talk about how do you get science, how does it work, how can you use it efficiently, and most important, which are the science projects you should focus on at the beginning. So as you can see, I have already prepared a little science room here, but before we start, let's establish something. They have thankfully taken the research system from Evil Genius 1 and threw it out of the window. Yes, that thing is gone. It was a horrible system because everything was pure random. It was even more random than in a card game, what cards you would draw. It was horrid. It was absolutely horrid. So let's just forget about Evil Genius 1 and focus on the second game, where they have now introduced the good old science trees. You can find them right here, and we will go through them in just a second. But you can now choose where you want to go. But how do you get science? Well, right at the beginning of the game, you have to do 4 side quests, and one of them is to get scientists. And you have to acquire a scientist minion, and then you can just get your science minions right here. We have 15 right now. I have to upgrade that a little bit later on, but that is what we have, 15 right now, and they are all doing the science thing. So it's pretty easy to get it. You can't miss it. You can't miss it because it's also a requirement for the main quest to have a scientist, so you're good. The game will show you how. It's super simple. Now you need a science room, and the best tip I can give you: plan accordingly that the room is relatively big, or you have, and that is what I will do, multiple science rooms, because this is how science works. So you can only choose one science project at a time. As you can see right here, my minions are researching the big screens, and it's at 60%. And when you do a research, you cannot research anything else. You have to go with this one. Of course, you can cancel it if you so desire, and then say, hey, I want to research this though, right? So you can do that, but there's only one research at a time. But what you can do, and you see it right here, you need the requirements. It's 1 scientist, duh. You need a whiteboard, which is this little item, and as you can see, I have 3 of them. What does that do when you cannot have multiple science projects? Well, it gives you more research speed. So because I have 3 whiteboards, this would now research 3 times as fast. And I say would because apparently my other 2 science have a coffee break or whatever. So there's only 1 person doing the research right now, and this is why it is 1 time as fast. As you can see, if I would click on this one, it would tell me, haha, you have 3 whiteboards, so the research speed would be 3 times as fast. So that means, because you want to research fairly quickly, you want a big room with a lot of science in it. Keep in mind though, research items are expensive. Like they seriously are. Let me show you that actually. We have the whiteboard, which only costs 5,000. That's still whatever. Then we have the impact analyzer, which costs 30,000. And then we have the data bank, which costs 15,000. So this is the most expensive one, and maybe what you are getting later on. They're expensive. So this is why at the beginning you cannot have that much research immediately, because you don't have that much gold. But as you can see, I have already built like 3 impact analyzers. I didn't really have anything with a data bank yet, so this is why we have only 1. And whiteboards is what you need the most. Like, nearly every research I have been doing, and I still have left over, you can see it right here. It's all, well, this not, because I haven't unlocked this yet, but we will talk about that in a minute. But it's all like, get the whiteboard, right? Get the whiteboard, get the whiteboard. Yeah, you get the idea. But I've deactivated the impact analyzers because they are also taking 10 power each. This is 30 power. And I just deactivated that if I don't need them. It helps, believe me. So keep that in mind. But now let's talk about the research itself. So, how does it work? Well, as I said, you are basically following the tree, but there's a little caveat here. You can see down below here that there are some weird symbols, the tiers. This is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, and that those are locked and that there are some weird dots. Those are the dots on how much research you have to do in the preview or in that tier to unlock the next tier. So at the beginning, for tier 1, you need to do 3 researches before you can go into tier 2. And it doesn't matter where you do those 3 research, right? You can do 1 in layer, 1 in minion, 1 in trap. 3 research are done, tier 2 is unlocked for all the categories. So you can mix it how you like. It's not a problem. And then I think tier 2 was 4 or 5. It's a little bit unfortunate that they are not showing it anymore. But I think it was like 4 or 5 research you have to do. Now I have to do 6, so gradually it gets a little bit more. But you have enough choices, and you have a lot. So let's talk about the things you should get at the beginning. Which are the research points you should get? Now, I have to say, this is of course a very personal opinion, and it really, really depends on your playstyle, what is going on in your game right now, and which difficulty you are playing on. And so this varies, okay? But there are basically 3 tier 1 categories. I would say you need them, no matter what. So the first thing, and this is not necessarily in particular order, right? As I said, take a look at your base, take a look at your playstyle, and take a look at the things which are going on right now and research accordingly. That's the best thing you can do. But at the beginning, I would say for tier 1, you want to get improved mining techniques. That is like a must-have because it makes your base bigger. You can finally dig into this grayish stone, right? At the beginning you can only use this area, and you will unlock this area. And depending on the map, you need space. Lots of space. So get that. It's super helpful. So that is definitely one of the first things I would say, get it. The next thing, get one of the weapons. You can use the stun club also for doing damage, and vice versa with the club rack. Like just with the standard clubs, you can also capture people. So it doesn't really matter like the one is just better than the other, right? But get one of those. Your guards are better than your workers, but they are still using their fists. So you want to give them at least some weapons. So get them one of the clubs. Again, it doesn't matter which really you use, but get one of those. Like, especially when you were playing on hard and the forces of justice are just pouring into your base, you want your guards to be prepared and at least give them a fighting chance. So get one of those. That is the second thing I would say you should get. When it comes to traps, they're nice to have. They're really nice to have, but they are not necessarily a must-have right at the beginning because they also cost money and you want to do some trap combinations. So the third one I would say you should get is this one, the computer console. Why? Well, the computer console gives you Intel, which you can see down here, and you need Intel for basically everything later on the world map. Schemes, main missions, side missions, you want to get henchmen, you need Intel, and you need a lot. You need a lot. So get those computer consoles and get them going. Might sound a little bit boring, but you want those. And especially because now you have unlocked tier 2, which is this one. Keep in mind, you have now researched 3 items. And this is the next thing you can get. The upgrade of the criminal networks, which transforms your criminal networks into tier 2, which is so much better. Like, you can get more heat, you get more money. The schemes you are getting are like 10 times better than before. Like, you have money schemes which can literally give you 300,000 money or gold. Like, you want those tier 2 upgrades. They're good, so definitely get them. Again, depending of course on what is going on in your base. When your base is on fire and everything crumbles, well, then a tier 2 network will of course not help you. I mean, that's clear. The next thing you should get in tier 2 is the safe rack. Those are the first upgraded safe upgrades for your vault, and as you can see here, I'm just using them now. They are much more compact. They can carry much more. The standard safe, what are they called? The gold pallets, of course. The gold pallets. They only have an output of 2,000, and they are taking up so much more space. Like, those are already 10 times better. So get those. They're really helpful. And then afterwards, get the nuclear generators. They're good. They help you a lot. As you can see, I've slowly started to completely switch out my generators for the nuclear generators. They are 4x5, I think. Let me see before I say anything wrong. I think they are 4x5. Do they show this here? No, but I think they were 4x5. So they are a little bit more bigger than their counterparts, but they also produce so much more electricity. Like, they double it basically. And they are a little bit more compact, all in all. So, yeah, get them. Get them. They're pretty good. The next thing, stairs if you need them. If you choose the small island, you want stairs. If you have the big island, like I have, like, you have a lot of room here, and yes, I have stairs, so there's another level. But as you can see, I haven't really done much here, especially because it's expensive. This is super expensive. This did cost me around like 120,000 just to create. Like, it's super expensive up here. But if you have the money and if you have a serious like room issue, get the stairs. They are very helpful. And minions, well, I like to give them the pistols. Like, again, if your base is on fire, get them pistols. If you really need some defenses, get the pistols. Traps, again, if you like them, you can survive a long time without traps, so don't sweat it too much. And I would say the other things are a little bit important, but if you're somebody who likes to play with the traps, then get them. Like, again, it comes very much down to your own playstyle. As you can also see, I have now reached tier 3, and it's locked. Because to unlock this feature, you must progress further through the campaign. So at some point, the game will tell you, hey, play the campaign a bit. Because what you are trying to do here is you are trying to do all the research before you do the campaign missions, and then they might be a little bit too easy. So no, play the campaign. Of course, you will not have that problem in the sandbox mode, let's be honest. But yeah, that's the research. Like, it's very much straightforward. And now you might ask, Mole, what is this? You haven't clicked on word domination yet. Yes, because this is basically research on, depending on the villain you are playing, well, the evil genius, right? Not villain, we are the good guys. The evil genius you are playing, like, you will have different research things here, and those are all tailored around the main campaign and the evil genius you are playing. So there's not much I can really show you here, because I'm A, working on it still, and B, it will be maybe a completely different experience for you if you're playing like Red Ivan or Emma or Zalika, right? So yeah, this will just change depending on what you play. But yeah, that is the research in Evil Genius 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I could help you a little bit to make the right decision at the beginning, like which research you should choose. Again, as always, it really depends on what is going on in your game. And if I would play this game on hard mode right now, as we did on the stream, I would probably choose like minions and defense first instead of global operations, because man, things are happening in your base. But that was it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more Evil Genius tips, tricks, videos, gameplay, live streams, the whole shebang, I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe. And we will of course also play other games coming up in the next months, so there will be much more content coming, not just Evil Genius 2. And this Monday, by the way, if you have missed it, we will have another live stream of Evil Genius 2 coming up at trovo.live/ChaosMole. Link will be in the description as always. And we are starting at 4 PM UK time, which is 5 PM Central European time, which is 11 AM EST and 8 AM Pacific time. And this time the embargo is gone. So that means I can show you everything in the game, and I can talk about everything in the game without any restrictions this Monday. So if you can, stop by, say hi. I would appreciate it. It also helps. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. And more importantly, stay evil.